I don't know what to say. I'm I'm hopeful, man. Wait, okay, look, I'm scared, but I'm also hopeful because, like, I don't know, it just, hold on, let me get my words together. I'm scared, but I'm hopeful because the only way is up from here, guys. It's like, yes, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. But even as it gets worse, whatever, we're gonna see more things, we're gonna understand more things. It's gonna be more things that we realize we need to do. And like I said, once you get to the bottom, the only way is up, man. That's the only way. And I've been telling myself that for like a few years now. Because there's been so many times where I've been at the bottom. Like, life, I don't know. I have my Saturn in the 5th house, and life has really shown me. I don't know if that has anything to do with this, but like, everything that I have or want, whatever, yes, it can be taken away from you. So you have to know what to do to get back to where you want to be. Even if not even, it doesn't even have to be back to where you want to be. It could be somewhere new. I hope somebody understands what I'm saying. But the only way is up. And I feel like this is a time where everybody's going to be more community based, which is what we need. That's just how, if you look at the start of time and look at everything that, like, look at how communities, look at how people were. It's like, okay, guys, we know we need each other to keep life going. So what can we do to help each other? You have certain roles, you have these roles, we do this, you guys do that. And then we'll all make sure we're all good because we're all helping each other. We have to be more community-based because that is how the world goes around. We're in an individualistic society right now where, well, most people are trying to be individualistic when in reality, I don't know how to put this, but you're an individual. You're your own person. There's no one like you. But we're all very much alike. I just see, like, I feel like what you're seeing in the world is a reflection of what's on the inside, and also reflections of, well, yeah, it's a reflection of the inside. Like, if you see, I only say this because I used to be so depressed. I used to hate life. I used to hate everything about life. I didn't want to live at all. And I used to, like, just be so, like, pessimistic. And that's what my world would be right in front of me. Like, I don't know, I could be like, no one cares about me, whatever. And that's what it felt like. Like, it felt like the world was showing me that too. Like, it felt like my thoughts it was true because that's what I was seeing, if that makes sense. And then one day I just decided, I was like, hey, I don't want to live like this. So let's try to think more positively. What can we do to fix this? What's wrong? And how can we make it right? You put those two things together, like, it's like if you're making a list or whatever, like pros and cons, whatever. You put those things on the paper and you look at them. Look at what you have to do to get to the other side. What things are you going to have to stop doing? What things you have to do more of? What people you might have to, like, not speak to? All the things so you can get to where you want to be. But I feel like hold on. I feel like that's how we should look at what's going on in the world. What is not working. And this is why education is really important. I love reading. I think more people should read. And you might be like, oh my gosh, I don't have time for that, like opening a book or whatever. I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I always have the time to read. I do have books. Like, I have this one right here. I have The Melanin Empath. And then I have The Alchemist. And then I have another book over there. But sometimes I really don't feel like, opening the book to read. Sometimes I really just want to not. Like, sometimes I'll just go on Audible or whatever, get a book. Or Hoopla and Libby. Guys, keep your libraries. We need them. We need them, especially during times like this. These are important times to, try to keep our library funded. Go get a library card. It doesn't cost you anything. All you need is an ID. And if you can't get an ID because, you don't have a birth certificate and all stuff like that, I'm very sorry. Like, I can only imagine But if you do have one, you can get an ID. You can get a library card. But yeah, I downloaded Hoopla and Libby. You can get books on there. You can borrow books from your library, audiobooks, or even ebooks. And you can read books on there or whatever. If you don't want to have an actual physical book, or you don't have space for one, or you don't feel like going to the actual library, there you can have it right on your phone. But I don't know. I think reading is really, really important. It's important because knowledge, how do I put this? There's so much in books. Like, yes, we have TikTok, and you like, oh, I learned so much off of TikTok, but we were just shown how that can be snatched away from us. That can be taken away from us. And I have so much going on, guys. Like, you're going to see this. You're going to notice this after I post more videos. I have so much going on up here. So it's a lot to think about. Give me 1 second. Basically, they're trying to show us, like, the power they have over what, like, our means of communication and connecting with each other, because that is important. When we connect with each other, we can get things done. And that is a problem, because why is it a problem? When we all collectively decide something's not working, and if we're the collective, we're the majority, and we're seeing that this is not working for the majority of people, something has to change. And that's not something they want to hear, because that's not helpful to them. The 1%, the ones that are up there, that's not helpful to them, because we're the consumers. We are the ones keeping their business alive. We're the ones putting money in their pockets. So we collectively decide, hey, we're not going to spend any money anymore. Somebody's going to be mad. I just freaking stopped the video on accident. But no, honestly though, like, that is literally what it is. If we all collectively decide this is not working, this is not going to work, we're not going to keep doing this, yes, we can make some changes. Is it going to be hard? Yes. But you have to think about it. Like, I love history. And we can see it with all the protests in history and everything with just hold on, I'm going to look this up because I want to be right. Okay, perfect example. Well, obviously we know the civil rights movement, very, very beneficial to this country. And not for just Black people, it was for people of color in general. I know it might seem like, oh, okay, it's mostly for Black people, but it's like, no, it really helped people of color in general, because if we're going to be completely honest, we're all in the same realm, I guess. So I don't know what word to use. To them, that's what they see us all as. They don't care what you are. They don't care what color you are, or what freaking race or whatever you want to describe yourself as. You're all still down here to them. They do not care. You're all the same. But too, like the hippie movement, the whole point of that was to, like, reject the mainstream societal norms and values and stuff like that, and really just try to implement, like, peace, love, personal freedom, and of expression, and just anything like that, which is, we need that, guys. Creativity, like creating things, makes the world go round. And you know what's crazy? Hold on, I'm talking so much, I'm all over the place. But what's crazy is, like, I was just thinking about it, like, not even just thinking about it. I always say just, but it could be something like happened that 3 years ago. Anyways, I was thinking about the fact that, like, if everybody, like, if we think about it, okay, if we had the time, if we had all the money that we needed, or, like, even if society was like, okay, we're all, like, in a socialist society, we all had the same amount of money, we all could afford to live, everybody had a car, or whatever we need to live our daily lives and let life be easy for us, what would we be doing in our free time? If we didn't have to work 40 hours a week, if we just only had to work like 3 days a week, we made enough with our 3 days a week, and we have 4 days to do whatever we want, what would you do? What would you spend your time doing? Like, what hobbies would you have? What are the things you would do if you didn't have to worry about anything? That's what I always think about. What would I be doing if I didn't have to worry about anything? And that's the life that I want to live, because I already know what I see in my mind, and that's what I want. I want for myself. I see art as, like, and art could be anything, really. It could be music. You could like to crochet, but, like, make pictures in your crochet projects or whatever. You could like to knit, and, like, same thing. You could like scrapbooking, that's creating something. You're creating something. You could like to paint, you're creating something. You could like to make music, you're creating something. Like, All these things are beautiful things that keep, what's the word I'm looking for? They make people feel things and make people think. And if I feel like those are really important things to feel and think, obviously. But like when we start to feel things, we're wondering where these feelings are coming from. Where are they stemming from? Like what thoughts do I have that are attached to these feelings? And why are they important? You could read a poem, which is also a form of art. Poetry is art. You could read a poem, and after you read that poem, you're like, wow, it just made me think of things that I've never thought about. It made me feel a way about things that I've never thought I would feel about. Like, I don't know what words I'm looking for. I need to expand my vocabulary, but I don't know what words that I'm looking for. I just feel that creativity is what makes the world really go around, and community. If we have those two things, I feel like there's probably one more thing that I might be missing. Community and creativity. What's the other one? It's another one. I don't know. I'll think about it. But if we have those two things, the world will go around so much smoother, honestly. I don't know. I just feel like being able to express yourself is so important no matter how you do it. Because you might not even have to talk. You might just express yourself with the way you dance, or what like clothes you wear, or like the way you keep your hair or whatever, or the way you do your hair. It all means something. And it also is tied to how you feel about things. Like, how can I explain this? I'm gonna say that a lot. Totally forgot what I was trying to say because I have so much going on up here. But I remember in 6th grade I read the book. Well, it was we read it with the class, and honestly, I loved when we read books in class. I remember the other one we read. No, it was in high school. It was Fahrenheit 51. But okay, back to The Giver. The book was just about a society where you don't really have, you have no choice. I don't know how else to put that, but that's literally it. You just don't have a choice. You don't have any memories either. There's no memories of the past life. They just know that when you're born, all you know is, I think in the book you could only have 2 kids. I think you had to have a boy and a girl. I think. I don't remember. I remember I think it was just 2 kids. And if you have more than that, I think they would kill the other one or something. I don't know. But, yeah, you didn't have a choice. They felt like if I'm looking at it too, because I want to have, the wrong words, but citizens are not given freedom of choice, and without choice, the elders of the society believe that they can prevent negative elements such as war and poverty. So their way of basically, it's obviously control, but basically their way of keeping things in order, I guess, are you don't have a choice. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to do this because we feel like this is what's going to make it work. Okay, I just read it because it was so long ago I've seen this movie, but basically no one's in competition with each other. There's no hatred. There's no war. There's no pain. They limited all of that because they took away everyone's memories. No one has a memory of anything. At the age of 12, you're assigned a job based on your skills and your abilities or whatever. And then to a person, if you're an adult, whatever of age, you can go and apply to get a spouse, which is wild. One that's most compatible for you, which they think is most compatible for you. It's not what you think, it's what they think. And then they're at a certain age, you can go and apply for kids or whatever, and you can get you're assigned 2 kids that fit the family or whatever. And then if you're a child born with a disability or something, you're released, and release means that you are off. And then once you're old, you go to the house of the old, and then you are released from, once your age releases you. Basically, everything is planned and organized so that life is convenient and pleasant. Everyone's just nice too. No one has any mean thoughts. you know, say mean things about people. You have no other feelings other than just being nice. Being nice. I don't even think you love anyone. Oh, I also think that I think if you watch the movie, if you don't want to read the book, but if you watch the movie, everything is in black and white. So no one can be discriminative or prejudiced or anything like that because you basically all look the same, which is wild. Not wild because, you know, you can't be prejudiced, but wild because you all look the same. So I think in the movie there were black people, but I don't remember because I don't remember. But anyways, what I was trying to say with that was like, that sounds eerily similar to a society that we have, trying to keep things not similar in the way of like, let me just say it like this. So like the receiver of memories or whatever is the guy who carries all the memories, every bad and good thing or whatever, so that no one else has to deal with it. So he has the pain and suffering and even the good happy memories. He's supposed to feel all of those things so no one else can feel it. And the little boy in the movie was assigned that job. He was given one memory at a time. It was like a good one first and then another good one, then I think a bad one. He was like, what the fuck? And then he was received like color. He was like able to see color and stuff like that. Like, so basically what I'm saying is, let me get my words together. You see how they take away, like, they're trying to stop us from learning certain things in schools. So let's say we went along with that and we, you know, go and every year the kids are learning, but they're not learning the important things. Like, because I'm pretty sure we learned that if we don't learn what happened in history, history will repeat itself. So we're just, you know, going about our day. We don't know these things that happen in history. What do we think is going to happen? Like, actually, the part where they're like, everybody looks the same so no one can judge. That sounds like that one guy whose name rhymes with Schindler. But it's, you know, it's just, it's similar to things that are happening in our world. And then, okay, that book for Fahrenheit 51, that book was about, so this is a society where books are banned. You cannot read books. If you have a book, you will be released. That's not the word they use, but you will be released. Okay, in the book, you cannot read books because books hold knowledge, and books will tell you things about the society you live in and how to change them and what we could all do to change it. So you know what they do with any person's house or whatever that has books? They go and set that bitch on fire. So the firefighters in the book literally cause the fires instead. They don't put the fires out, they burn your shit down. Like, if you're caught with books, you're basically violating a law. And everybody's just, in this society, they don't think about anything. Like, everything's just so mediocre. Like, they go to work, they go home, they watch TV, they talk to their friends, they talk about the same garbage because they have nothing else to talk about, because they can't think about anything else, because they don't know anything, because they don't have any information. The information they have is given to them through TV or whatever. But the information that was in books or whatever, the important information that was in books, was burned away. So no one knows this. No one can pass these things down unless you literally try to remember it. And I think there's one guy in the movie that, or the book, that tries to remember it or whatever, all that he's read, because I think his books were burned, maybe. But yeah, like, you see what's happening with TikTok? We're able to come on there, communicate with each other, share things, learn new things. We're able to tell people about things that happen or are happening in the world, even if they're across the ocean and we don't know what's going on, because, you know, certain news outlets are owned by certain people. So no, we can't just go on there and be like, okay, we know all the information, unbiased, they're telling the truth. No, we can't be so sure about that, because those people that are at the top, they are buying these news stations and only wanting certain things to be told. We can leave out the most important information, but just tell them the regular basic shit, basically. So what are we gonna do when they try to take these things away from us? Like, TikTok was just one thing, but you gotta understand too, like, the phones that we have in our hand. If they can turn off an app on everybody's phone in the United States in one day, not even in one day, just a couple hours, what do you think they would do if like with our phones. They could cut the service off, the whole thing, take all the towers down. This is something we rely on. What are we going to do when we don't have these things? Back then, they didn't even have these things. Like, they didn't have TikTok back then. So they went outside and they spoke to each other. They did things within their community, and they set up things within their community and was like, okay, how can we help our community? I think we should start with those things first. How can we help our community that we currently live in? And then what are the things we can do to help everybody in this country or whatever, the world? We have to find ways to get together, to teach each other this information, learn from each other, talk to each other, try to get on the same page. Find your people. You don't have to be just, I'm not just saying go out there and try to talk to everybody, because some people are not receptive or whatever the word would be to certain things. So no, you can't just talk to everybody, but we have to find ways to do things when we don't have anything, because it could all be taken away. The same way we can get something back, it could all be taken away. Literally like this. So we have to find reliable things to, I don't know the word I'm looking for. I don't know the word I'm looking for. I know what word I want to use, but I don't know a word for what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I just feel like we really need to get outside. We really need to talk to each other. We really need to find things to do within our community to keep our community going. And then I feel like it's a spiral. We start here first in our small community, and then if we just keep going, we keep spreading the information and everything, it'll get further out. It'll keep getting further out. And eventually we'll have a solution to our problem and how we can help each other and how we can get further. And then life could be a lot better. Life could be a lot better if we were all on the same page. I don't know. I've been yapping. I've probably been all over the place, but that's just, I don't know. I'm hopeful, like I was saying. I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful. But all I know is during this time, I'm excited because I have a lot of stuff I want to do. I'm excited for everything that I can do and will do. And I don't know. I know what I'm going to do. I know that I want to build a community for myself. I want to find my soul tribe. I want to find my people. People who are on the same page as me. People who want to do the same things as me. People who want to do things that are going to help our communities. Because when we help our communities, once we all can stand on our 10 toes all together, then we can find ways to help the world. It just will keep going around. I don't know. Anyways, guys, it'll be okay. We're going to be okay. Say hi to my babies. Oh my gosh, I have so much stuff, guys. Oh my God. Okay, my nose be running at the end of the night when I'm trying to go to sleep. So I have to have my tissue and then my toothpicks because I be, don't judge me. But anyways, guys, it's gonna be okay. Just find what's important to you and do what you love to do. Start there first. You gotta really do those things because those are the beginning. That's how we start. That's just the start. Start with yourself, and then you find everything else will come to you, or you can go out and find it. It's whatever. But yeah, life is gonna be great, guys. We're gonna have to get through this time. We're going to get through this time. We just have to be on the same page, and I feel like everybody, or for the most part, most people will be on the same page, and we will start making some progress. And it's gonna get bad before it's gonna get good, but it's gonna get really good. It might get really bad, but if that's the case, that means it's gonna get really, really good. So we have to be okay with this. Our people, the people that came before us, the ones that were protesting during the 60s and all that stuff, they didn't have this stuff. They were just outside. They were just outside. They didn't have no phones to tell nobody. They just went to like their news outlet. They went to the press. They did what they had to do with what they had. And if we don't have these things anymore, we have to find another way to get what we're trying to get our point across, basically. Get our point across. I don't know how else to put that, but yeah. It's gonna be great, guys. I love you. I'll be yapping. I don't even know who's here, and that's all right. That's perfectly fine. My people will come, and I'm happy for the people who come and find me. I'm gonna try to start posting more. If you just want to hear me talk, then that's great. But yeah. Have a great night, guys.